The coffee machine hissed like a dying animal. 2:47 a.m. The apartment was a tomb of silence except for that mechanical wheeze. Roland stood barefoot on the cold linoleum, eyes bloodshot, hands trembling so badly the mug rattled against the counter. He wore the same grey sweatpants he'd driven home in from Lake Forest. The same ones now stained with dried tears and highway dust. On the wall, illuminated only by the fridge's pale glow, hung his veterinary diploma. Roland Thornfield, Doctor of Veterinary Medicine. The gold frame glinted like a lie. He poured. The coffee was black, bitter, scalding. He didn't care. He needed something to burn. The mug slipped. Clank, it shattered. Dark liquid spread across the floor like spilled blood, creeping toward the diploma. He didn't move to clean it. Roland stared at the diploma. 6 years of blood, sweat, and 3 a.m. study sessions. 6 years of dissecting cadavers, stitching torn ears, holding dying dogs while owners sobbed. 6 years of building a name. His name, Thornfield, but it wasn't his. Not anymore. The coffee reached the frame. Ink bled. The word Thornfield dissolved into a brown smear. He whispered to the empty kitchen, "Who the fuck am I?" His voice cracked like a teenager's. He hadn't cried in the car. Not on the 90-minute drive from Lake Forest to Milwaukee. Not when he'd walked past the family portraits, past the height marks on the doorframe, past the piano he'd learned Chopin on. He'd been numb, a ghost in his own life. But now in this tiny kitchen the dam broke. She appeared in the doorway like a vision. Melanie, hair tangled, wearing his old UW Madison hoodie, sleeves too long. She didn't speak. She just walked forward, stepped over the broken mug and wrapped her arms around him. He collapsed. His knees hit the floor. The sobs came from somewhere deep, not his throat, not his chest, but his soul. Raw, ugly, uncontrollable. They lied, he choked. 32 years. They lied. I know, she whispered. I know. She held him as he shook, as the coffee soaked into his sweatpants, as the diploma dripped brown tears. He crawled to the wall, pulled the frame down. The glass was cracked from the fall. He didn't care. He traced the letters with a trembling finger. ROLAND THORNFIELD. This was supposed to be my proudest moment, he said. Graduation day. Mom cried. Dad shook my hand like I'd won a war. Quincy clapped too loud. Bridget took 100 photos. Dustin snuck me a beer in the parking lot. I thought I'd earned this. Melanie sat beside him on the floor. She didn't try to fix it. She just listened. I stayed late every night at the clinic, he continued. I treated animals for free. I slept on the couch when a dog was critical. Sandra, my office manager, she'd say, Dr. Thornfield, you're too good for this world. And I'd smile, because I believed it. I believed I was good. That I was theirs. He laughed, a hollow, bitter sound. Turns out I was just a charity case with a trust fund name. The coffee had stopped spreading. It formed a perfect circle around them. Like a crime scene. Melanie picked up a shard of the mug. It was white with a tiny blue paw print. A gift from a patient. A golden retriever named Buddy who'd survived parvo. You saved him, she said, with these hands. With this heart. That wasn't a lie. Roland looked at his hands, calloused, scarred. One finger still had a bite mark from a feral cat he'd rescued last month. But the name on the degree is just ink, she said. Ink washes off. She stood, went to the sink, filled a bowl with warm water, grabbed a sponge, and then, slowly, deliberately, she began to clean the diploma. She wiped the coffee from the glass, from the frame, from the paper. The word Thornfield was gone. Only Roland remained, faint, but there. See, she said. You're still here. He watched her. The way she moved with purpose. The way she didn't flinch from the mess. The way she chose him. I don't know who I am without them, he whispered. Then we'll find out, she said. Together. She pulled a shoebox from under the couch. Inside, photos. Not the polished Thornfield Christmas cards. These were real. Roland at 10 covered in mud holding a frog. Roland at 16 teaching Dustin to parallel park. Roland at 25, asleep on the clinic floor beside a recovering beagle. Roland and Melanie at their first date. Burgers, dive bar, her laughing so hard soda came out her nose. These are you, she said. Not them. He flipped through them. Each one a memory. Each one true. He looked up at her. What if my real parents don't want me? Then they're idiots. What if I'm nobody? You're the man who stayed up 72 hours straight to save a litter of puppies. You're the man who cried when a goldfish died. You're the man who loves me even when I burn dinner. You're somebody. He started crying again, but this time it was different. Not grief, release. They sat on the floor until dawn. The coffee dried into a dark stain. The diploma hung crooked on the wall. Thornfield erased, Roland barely visible. Tomorrow, he said, I hire a private investigator. Tonight, she said, you sleep. She led him to the bedroom, tucked him in like a child, lay beside him, held him until his breathing slowed. Before he drifted off, he whispered, Thank you for seeing me. I always did, she said, even when you didn't. 7:12 a.m., the sun crept through the blinds. Roland woke to the smell of new coffee. Melanie stood at the stove making pancakes. On the table, a yellow legal pad. To do 1. Call Chester Pike, PI recommendation from Mrs. Kowalski. 2. Get adoption records. 3. Change name on clinic signage. 4. Frame the broken mugshard. 5. Love Melanie forever. He smiled. For the first time in 24 hours. The diploma still hung on the wall. Roland alone, enough. The clinic was busier than ever. A new sign out front. Cray Animal Hospital. Legally changed. The Thornfields sent a cease and desist. Mitchell Cray's lawyers sent a photo of the new license. Case closed. The broken mugshard hung in a shadow box beside the diploma. Underneath, a plaque. The night I lost a name. The morning I found myself, patients asked about it. Roland told them the truth. Every time, and every Friday, he and Melanie had pancakes. No more 3 a.m. coffee. No more lies. Just truth, just love, just Roland. He stood in the kitchen 1 year later, exactly where the mug had shattered. The floor had been replaced, new tiles, no stain. But he remembered. He held a fresh mug, white, no paw print, just his initials. R.C. Melanie walked in, hair in a messy bun, wearing his hoodie again. Pancakes? She asked. Always, he said. He set the mug down. Didn't spill it this time. He looked at the diploma. The coffee stain was gone. The name Thornfield was gone. Only Roland remained. And for the first time, that was enough. He wasn't a secret. He wasn't a stand-in. He wasn't a lie. He was the man who saved animals, who loved fiercely, who chose truth over comfort, who woke up every morning and decided to be kind. The coffee machine hissed again, but this time it sounded like a heartbeat. He smiled, poured 2 cups, handed one to Melanie. They stood together side by side, watching the sunrise through the window. No more questions, no more ghosts. Just this, just now, just them. The diploma on the wall caught the light. Roland, just Roland. And that was everything. He took a sip. The coffee was perfect. Not too hot, not too bitter. Just right. Like life, like love, like truth. He set the mug down. Didn't break it. Didn't need to. The breaking was over. The building had begun, and it started right here, in this kitchen. With this woman, with this name, Roland, just Roland. And that was more than enough. It was everything.